Hi, I'm Rick Rheins, Senior Rabbi at Temple Sinai in Denver, Colorado. And this week's Torah portion is Noach from chapter 6 in the book of Genesis through chapter 11. And of course, Noach, the story of Noah, the story of the flood. Then Noah built an ark, and it was a recreation of humanity in a way. And then at the end of the flood story, God set up, it says, Hakeshed Ba'anan, Hakeshed Ba'anan, a rainbow in the sky to signify that there will be peace and that there's a hope, even after the storm, even after the Mabul, the flood and destruction, there's always hope. And this rainbow, still to this day, when you look at it and see a rainbow up in the sky, it brings such a positive and wonderful feeling that, okay, things are going to be okay. So that's a beautiful piece, but I wanted to focus on something in chapter 11. In chapter 11, again, humanity has been recreated. Noah and his children, and all of a sudden there's a flowering of humanity, and it all looks good. All of humanity, because they all come from Noah or B'nai Noach, all of humanity is now gathered at a place called Bavel, and they speak one language. They're one family. They're all descendants of the same. All are gathered in this one place. And because they speak all one language and they have one family, one mindset, they said, you know what? Look what we can do. Let's make a name for ourselves. We can build this ziggurat, this pyramid that reaches to the skies. We can storm the heavens and certainly make for ourselves greatness. And you would think that if all of humanity was gathered in one place, total unity, and we all saw of each other as one family, and we all had one language, no differences, and we all then had one thought, one feeling, an ideal that we could strive for, that would be wonderful. What a great thing. Or maybe not. Or maybe not. That if all of humanity had only one thought, one language, one perspective, was in one place, that it might even be a little fascistic, be overwhelming, that only one thought would be allowed because we have one thought and one language and one people and one place, and anyone else would be considered a heretic. Well, we know how humanity treats those who are not following in with the party line, and it can get very ugly. And so God made it so that each of these people spoke different languages, and they could no longer be in one place. And their language was confused, which is why they named the place Bavel or Babel, or as we know it later on, Babylon. And to this day, one who babbles on is of confused speech, but it's sort of a humorous way, an etiology explaining why people speak in different languages. But it says it was important because they then spread out all over the earth. They weren't in just one place. And by spreading all over the earth, they developed different thoughts and ideas and perspectives. That too enriches and strengthens humanity. Our differences are our strengths, not our weaknesses. Our different perspectives help us understand a way of looking at life that is different and both is a challenge and can enrich and make life so much more interesting. And so that is where we come back to the rainbow. Look at that rainbow. It has all these different colors, all the colors of the spectrum of light. And it represents then different people, different languages, different thought, different perspectives. And the Torah said that is where we find hope. Not in everyone saying the same, chanting the same, moving the same, voting the same, believing the same. No, that's scary. Rather, let us embrace the uniqueness of our humanity in its glorious variety. And we look at each other and say, just as the Talmud did, Elu ve'elu divrei Elohim chayim. This one's thought and that one's thought, they both can be holy. They both can be sacred. And we need different perspectives. May it be. And we've come through a terrible time. I'm still wearing the hostages. Apparently, we still are hoping that some of the hostages who were murdered by the Palestinian Hamas would be returned. I'm still wearing this, that there will be a release of all the hostages and there can be peace after the terrible things that we've been through, that there'll be a rainbow. But that also means that we have to be open to different perspectives and looking for a way in which the differences among us are those things that are attractive and building a deeper and more sensitive understanding of this beautiful humanity that God has created. Shabbat Shalom.